If you are just joining us, this is the morning show on Royal TV, Channel 51. You can also watch us, in our live streaming by simply logging on to royalfm.live. You can also join this conversation through our Twitter handle at Royal FM 95.5 TV or on our Facebook page, Royal TV 51. And if you have any comment concerning this program or concerning the topic of the day, you have comment, you have questions, please send them to our email address, info@royalfmtv.com. We will surely get them treated and get back to you immediately. Without wasting time, let's go straight into today's topic of discourse. The topic today is ethnic sectionalism, its implication on Nigeria's politics. You see, in the usual senseless manner, Nigerians have become so used to policies that are not consistent with the Constitution in order to promote certain agendas. These agendas usually promote discrimination and on the basis of place of origin and religion. The question is, how was federal character allowed to abstain from meritoric promotion and favor in the selection of candidates based on state of origin? I think the answer is to create space to employ jobless politicians who cannot survive and compete in the society due to their lack of natural talent and ability. The society see politicians as jobless Nigerians now, because when they get there, with their policies, you see that, okay, this man has nothing. So in view of this, many Nigerians have advised that, in deciding the Constitution, in deciding what we want, the Constitution must be looked into, if the forthcoming election will go smoothly. Many have also advised that we must go back to our original spirit before public office become a quest to provide job for the boys, meaning we must revert to observing the Constitution initial provisions to enable justice, fairness, and stability. And we should also forget twisting interpretations which allow the greedy political elite to get their ways. They have two tools, politicians, two tools they use, you see, ethnicity and religion. And when anybody make any comment, they would twist the comment to suit their own agenda, and that is the problem we are facing now in Nigeria. One of the hurdles the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, and President Muhammadu Buhari will face as Nigeria enter into the preparatory year for the next general election is the menace of Fulani herdsmen that has escalated since 2015, when the incumbent administration came to power. Apart from negative public perception that the administration has not been able to pull the country out of the economic hole that the erstwhile PDP plunged Nigeria into after their 16 years of rule, the issue of national security will be a moral deficit that will face the APC in the next, election campaigns. In its manifesto during the build-up to the 2015, remember, the APC promised to urgently address capacity building of law enforcement agents in terms of quality and quantity as critical elements in protecting life and property. Yeah, that was their manifesto. The party also promised to establish well-trained, adequately equipped, and goal-driven crime squad to combat terrorism, kidnapping, armed robbery, militancy, ethno-religious and communal clashes nationwide. And they also gave assurance of embarking on widespread consultation to arm the 1999 Constitution to enable state and local councils establish community police to address peculiar security need of each community. Now, we are talking about constitutional review, We are talking about resource control. If they had, fulfilled their promise, nobody will be agitating here and there now. According to the party, this would mean setting boundaries for federal, state, and community police through new criminal justice legislation to replace the criminal code, the penal code, and the police act. You see, however, almost 3 years down the line, the activities of armed herdsmen have placed a question mark on the sincerity and determination of the APC to provide adequate security, protection to life and properties of citizens. The herdsmen, their crisis has continued to haunt Nigeria, and so far, hundreds of people, have died, and others are, refugees in their country. However, it must be known that the challenge of herdsmen and farmer clash has always been in Nigeria, and it is therefore unfair to conclude that the Buhari administration created the menace. And as the clock ticked towards the next year election, the determination of the administration to rise up and tackle the menace frontally will become a big issue during the campaigns for the 2019 election. To discuss this issue with me today on the program is Alabo Maurice Alagwa. Mr. Alabo Maurice Alagwa is a social commentator and is a community activist. Mr. Alabo Maurice, you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate your presence here.
It's an honor to be invited.
All right. But before we go into the discussion, let's take a look at the reaction of Nigerians on this issue. Don't go away.
The government is reluctant to end this farmer herdsmen clashes, because all this why is it that no one single person has been caught? No one single person has been shown out, maybe by the media or taken to court. It seems that the authority knows something about it and trying to hide something from us. People should try and arm the, defend themselves.
The problem is in Nigeria, have you? So they have the right to rear their cows whatever they like. It is the problem that people hate the present administration. That is why they are saying, instead of them to gather together and find the lasting solution, it will help us. For us to be saying and saying it will not solve the problem. It is government only will solve the problem. Let them come to their tables and look what is the problem between Fulani and the. It might not, maybe the people that they have been accusing, maybe they are not, it might not be.
Herdsmen and farmers with the people in the community, they have been living together for years. But when they brought in the issue of politics into herdsmen issue, that's why you see it degenerate to this level. Because Buhari is a Fulani man. Anytime they want to talk, they will say Fulani herdsmen. I don't understand. There are some people that are herdsmen that are not necessarily be Fulani. But because Buhari is a Fulani man, some people now brought in politics, the politics of pull down. That's why they brought to it. I don't know, there are some people that are sponsoring that killer herdsmen. I will put the blame on the politicians that doesn't lead this country very well. I don't understand. They are wasting the life of we, the populace. When Jonathan was there, they were using Boko Haram to spoil that administration for that 5 years that he used. And instead of the project that he want to do that time, Boko Haram doesn't allow him. And it's the detriment of we, the masses, but some people, they don't know. Now Buhari too, when he entered now, they are using herdsmen and all these crises so that they will distract him. He said they are distracted. The people that are doing that, they don't lead this country very well.
They should call everything to order now. They know these people. They should meet them. What is their problem? The government to ask them, what do they want? If it is to go and resettle them in a place. It's not fair when somebody will just rose up and started killing his fellow men. It's uncalled for. It is not an idea something.
What I think the government can actually do, like in Ebonyi State now, for instance, you see the Dave Umai, which is the governor of Ebonyi State, actually put up a policy. The policy is this. There's going to be a biometrics to checkmate the number of herdsmen in a particular state. So that biometrics we actually help to know the number of herdsmen in that particular state, and at the same time, stop further entrance of herdsmen. By so doing, you can actually check the activity of herdsmen, and the issue of farmer-herdsmen clash can actually be resolved. So I think other states should take a clue from what Engineer Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State is trying to do.
Every Nigeria, they share them $1 million each. That will stop the killing of everyone. We have the money. We have the money. We have the money. Stop loss. If Buhari and Good Luck can close their accounts, they can solve Nigerian problem. Buhari, Saraki, Good Luck, and all ex-presidents close their accounts, or give at least half of their accounts, Nigerian problem will be solved.
Looking at the herdsmen killing, what we have discovered is that people has taken it to be ethnic and religious issue. It is not.
We are sorry for the technical breakdown there, and we'll still continue the show. Alabo, you've seen the reaction of Nigerians, while they were talking, concerning this topic. Now, in 2019, you don't forget, in 2015, 2014-2015 election, the North stood on their ground and said they want a Northerner to be the president this time around, that they don't want anybody from any ethnic, from any other region, but from the North. Do you see the same scenario playing out, in the next election?
Thank you very much. I think the issue of ethnicity has been with us right from beginning. Even though when Awolowo died, Fela of blessed memory said, "May the soul of Awolowo rest in peace, and may it allow Nigerians to rest in peace," because he brought ethnic politics into Nigeria. Now, Awolowo benefited seriously from Ernest Ikoli. When Ernest Ikoli was a member of the Federal House, he did not have the money to go abroad. He had to fall back on Ernest Ikoli, who worked within few days, within 2 weeks period, to get him the documents to travel out of Nigeria. Then you can see how Nigeria was together. Ernest Ikoli from Bayelsa here. And that was why when we attained independence, 1st October 1960, when the Union Jack was being lowered, and then the green, white, green was going up, Awolowo said to his wife, his mind was on people like Ernest Ikoli, who are not alive to see Nigeria get independence. You see, he was thinking of somebody from Ijo land. We were somehow together as one. But today, don't forget, even Isaac observed that what led to the Civil War was not only just corruption, nepotism, but ethnicity was entrenched in the system. And so, while it has always been there, it is natural that you must, fall back to your ethnic nationality. But my surprise is that things are getting worse, that we have not learned to make that center, the national stage, a place that accepts all and that will cater for all. That even the man from the ethnic nationality in the remotest area will see the national stage as his own. And that is why people like Ojukwu, the Ikemba, said, the scenario in Nigeria, the circumstances in Nigeria makes only an idiot to be detribalized, because the center does not belong to anybody. People who go to the center, they are only taken to their own different ethnic nationalities. So that is why people are clamoring. Our own man has to be there. Our own man has to be there, so that we will have not only development drawn to our area, but some other advantages, like, when the policeman or the military man wants to deal with you, and he sees that the president is from your place, he will mellow down somehow. When the boys were blocking this Imbiama junction during amnesty struggle, they say they are not being paid, their allowances and all of that when they go and block this Imbiama junction. during the administration of Goodluck Jonathan. Yes, the military will troop down there, security men will troop down there, but they normally contain themselves. Soon after Buhari took over, and the boys tried it, they got it hot. Because Jonathan was no longer there in Aso Rock. They got it hot, some of them were injured, shot, seriously. These are your boys. Their man is no longer in Aso Rock. So whoever is commanding the forces knows that he's no longer taking instruction from an Ijoman. You see, so these things are there. And it is most unfortunate that Nigerians have abandoned Nigeria itself, like an abandoned farm. And when you abandon a farm, it will be taken over by grass, rodents, reptiles, and all sorts of things. Your plants, your crops will not grow healthy because they will be competing with the other grasses for nutrients. And for you to take back your farm, if you eventually come back, you need to wear protective wears, boots, and then watch out for snake and all things like that. And be careful so that you don't destroy while you are removing the overgrown grasses. So Nigerians need to sit down. Yes, Obasanjo tried it in 2005 or so. He called a national political conference. Somehow a walkout was staged by some of us too from this side, and then nothing came out of it. Goodluck Jonathan also tried it in 2013 or so, 2013-14. That came out with certain recommendations. That was adjudged to be very robust, and we are looking forward to regaining back our country. But maybe as Goodluck left the office, it has gone into the drawers. So we have quite a lot of reports, like in the Niger Delta. If you say they should now go and begin to research again on the Niger Delta to know what they will do for people to be satisfied, all these are shadow chasing because we have plethora of research documents there. Recommendations are all there. But the political will to drive this to the logical conclusion is our problem.
So how do we get into this situation of, everybody wants somebody from their ethnic region to be at the helm of affairs? How do we get there?
Well, we have moved from civilian, military. And along the line, some of those that got into the office have distorted, the real flow of issues. There is no longer law and order. It's like to your tents, O Israel. You panic people into their ethnic cleavages, so you are shooting from your ethnic point of view. So it is only those who have the strength to use that their ethnic nationality, they are in number, and then other financial inducement, they get there, and then they begin to plant their people in positions of trust, whether it is in the military, whether it is in the civil service, federal civil service, and all of that. But again, this does not happen only at the center. It also happens down to the state level. And that is why some of us are arguing now that the restructuring that has become the new slogan, we have moved from resource control. Now resource control has been subsumed into restructuring. Because many people who are shouting restructuring now, they believe resource control is there. That's why they are supporting it strongly. But we that are supporting community rights, we are saying that except you go down to take the community, restructuring is not worth it. Because even if you give that restructured design the way they are doing now, and it comes to the state level, the communities will still suffer. Because you see, oil-producing communities are not benefiting from the 13% that are coming to most of the Niger Delta states. For how long must the communities wait? According to Ojukwu, it is the ethnic nationalities that you form you gather yourself, get focus, get agenda, before you go to that so-called amalgamated nation and argue your points out.
Okay.
So if our communities won't benefit from this restructuring, I will be the last person to support it. Restructuring must take care of the community. That the community must be a very strong critical unit of restructuring.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's leave the issue of restructuring first.
Yeah.
And let's go into this. Let's go back into, this ethnic sectionalism.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the national level now.
Yeah.
Good. I remember that we have a Federal Character Commission.
Yeah.
Why is Federal Character Commission not working anytime there's an election? That's this my thinking, because we all have quota system.
Yeah.
That it's okay. The north, you are supposed to be like this. Maybe so person from the north, this so person from the south, so person from the east. Why is this thing not playing during our election? I said, okay, let the federal character system, kind of decide on where the man that should lead the aim of affairs come from.
Who will be in that Federal Character Commission headship that will have the guts to even send a memo to Mr. President that this list I'm sending should be adhered to? Remember, Obasanjo said that, yes, I've appointed you my advisors. You can advise, but the discretion to accept is mine, whether your advice will be implemented.
That's just a statement of one person.
Yes.
It's not the Constitution,
if you
and
now
it's not our
if
policies.
you now submit as the head of the Federal Character Commission that this is how you think things should be done, and the man looks at it, he maybe will smile, and later he now begin to frown and then say, he drops it. Implement some of them. Implement some of them that favors him, and then throw away the rest. What will you do? Remember, in civil service, they say, you don't talk. You don't address the press. You must be an obedient civil servant. So, we shouldn't blame the civil servants who are doing what they are supposed to do, but the political actors. Don't forget, we have not seen upon all the thuggery, even when people are approaching election tribunal petition with their petition, people are being attacked. And yet, we have not seen one person being prosecuted successfully and jailed. It's like the politicians are immune to the law. And this is unacceptable. The politicians are not above the law. If we are in a society that the supremacy of the law reigns, then it is only then every person will have confidence. But here, it is a selective form of justice. The politicians are above the law. So it seems. And that is why there are supporters who commit all sorts of atrocities during election, even during campaigns. Their violence, nobody does anything, even though they are with the policemen that are following them, escorting them. They don't arrest those people. Sometimes they will even be the ones that will take the rifle from the policeman and then maybe act. Or the policeman will see someone wielding AK-47, but because it's within the political group, you won't do anything. So until we begin to see the supremacy of the law reigning on the land, we can't get anywhere. And don't forget, the social institutions are the strong pillars, are the pillars that hold every strong society. When the social institutions are weak, the society wobbles.
Why are the social institutions weak?
Corruption, nepotism. That is it. The corruption that is endemic. Don't forget, by the time they talk about Nigeria internationally, by the time they give Nigeria history, maybe one or two paragraphs internationally, they will talk that Nigeria is the most populous African nation, it has oil, but corruption must come in.
Okay, you were talking about the political elites.
Yes.
And how they favor their ethnic region more than the other ethnic region. But I want to single former President Goodluck Jonathan out, and make an example of him. Was Jonathan in this same wagon?
Jonathan, if some of us were against Jonathan, it's because of this thing you have said. While he was preparing Al-Majari schools in the north, to the point that we saw in adverts a child whose father was about to be cheated, who sells car. The customer who normally cheat the father was about doing same. But the boy came out and said, look, I know. He began to calculate, and then the customer was surprised. He said he has gone to school, Al-Majari school. While Goodluck Jonathan was equipping those youth there, you go down to our creeks, you don't have our migrant fishermen having schools.
Is that not a sign of a true nationalist?
That is supposed to be, that is what it's supposed to be. But why should he also neglect his own people? We were neglected. Our people, up to now, as I'm talking to you, it is still existing in our creeks.
Can I put it to you now? Can I put it to you now?
They do not have teachers even in our schools.
Can I put it to you now? You are being sectional also.
Not being sectional.
You know
what you do if you are a president, if you are a governor, take your entire geographical expression as your constituency. Do not slant the scale to tilt towards one side. Naturally, there is no way it can even up. It may do like this and later it come back and do like this, like that. But if we say it must be like this, then you are talking about utopianism. That is not possible. But let there be fairness to all people. The north, the south, the east, the west should feel you. So we were not feeling that same educational something that was happening in the north, whether to appease them and then to not to satisfy our people here.
You know, as a president, then you look at it that, fine, these people need education and they need reorientation if that society must move forward. Because the northern social life was neglected by the northern elite. That's just simple truth. So he came in as a true nationalist and he felt, okay, let me change this. Has he done anything wrong in doing that?
There's nothing wrong in correcting some deficit situation. But then there should have been a policy to take care of all nooks and crannies of the country. If we had it happening here, we wouldn't have looked at that side.
But then we had amnesty for the Niger Delta militants, where you have a lot of youths, you know, who were incorporated into that amnesty program. Some of them were sent abroad.
They used amnesty to buy peace. And then that amnesty didn't even favor us. Till today, those things that cause the root causes of militants in the Niger Delta has not been addressed. Till today, that amnesty was just to get the arm-bearing boys away so that the oil will continue to flow. And then revenue will continue to flow to the federal government and the 36 states for them to be sharing with the federal capital territory and 775 local government areas. That's just what they did. As I talk to you now, our communities, even in the creek till today, most of them have no teacher in their schools.
Let's pause there and we'll take a short break. When we come back, the discussion continues. Don't go away. You are welcome back. This is Royal TV, and the program is The Money Show. And we'll be talking on ethnic sectionalism, its implication on Nigeria politics. I still have with me Mr. Alagwa. Yeah, let's look at this ethnicity and sectionalism in a more holistic way now. Right? I was trying to bring our mind back to what happened when Jonathan was the president, of this nation.
Yeah.
That there was relative peace, as you said, in the Niger Delta. You say relatively.
Yeah.
But now we have another president who is from the north, because in 2015, the north clamor and other regions to join them. That, okay, Jonathan shouldn't continue. Jonathan shouldn't continue. They should bring somebody from another region.
Yeah.
Right? Now, one thing I've discovered is that because of this ethnic sectionalism, nobody cares whether the person that is coming has the ability, the quality to lead us And that has been the problem of Nigeria. Will you agree with me on that?
To a large extent, yes.
How large is the extent?
You see, like I mentioned before, this is a matter of scarce resources, and everybody wants it to be there so that they will benefit more.
Scarce resources?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody talks about the air we breathe. The air is in abundance. Nobody struggles for it. But when resources are scarce, and then people must go for it.
What do you mean by scarce resources?
Yeah.
Are you saying that men with that quality are very scarce in all the regions, in the northeast, northwest, southwest, south-south, or north central? Are you saying that people with Dr. Goodluck Jonathan's qualities are scarce?
I wouldn't want us to limit it to Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, but one thing you should know is that precious things are scarce. But in nature, God has made the best things to be free, like the air we breathe. That is the most important thing in life, that without it for 1 hour, that is even too much. We are all gone. God made it free for us. Gold, that people had to scoop the gold underground to get these things and then make them through different processes, pass through furnace, heat and all of that, it's expensive. Some of these things are very rare. Like people will tell you, get good education, that at the top, there are spaces. But at the bottom of the ladder, where you have the ordinary people with BSc, people with MSc, and all of that, they are beginning to pile up here, so they are struggling. So to get refined people who are unbiased, there are people that will come from the East, say they want to become president, that I wouldn't have any problem with. But there are some people that will come from that area, I will see them as ethnic jingoist, and I will say, no, I won't vote for that type of person. If somebody like Emeka Anyako is presenting himself, somebody who has been exposed internationally at the United Nations, I would like to go for him.
Oh, you are not campaigning for Emeka Anyako anyway?
No, not at all. I'm only giving you an example, okay, because you mentioned Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay.
Mind you, Goodluck Jonathan was never a politician. Mm-hmm. Even to become the deputy, they had to beg him to Alameseya before he came out.
He was a technocrat.
Yeah, he was a technocrat. Like I mentioned to Ronto Douglas, I said, you politicians, you are giving us a fuel hike and all of that. He said, no, I'm not a politician, I'm a technocrat in government. Yeah, so I agree with you to a large extent that these people are very scarce. And in those days, during the military government, we see it the more. If they come into power, they look for very credible people to make commissioners. Especially when they are not from that place. They will search. They will call people to recommend. Who are your good persons here that we can appoint? But here, in the political dispensation that we are, like Orocha Sokorosha is saying, his in-law will do better than him in Imo State.
Not because he sees his in-law as a technocrat. That is his own by the way.
That is so.
Now, let's come back because...
So politicians they see very far in things that will benefit them. Mm. But the things that will benefit the people, even if it is here, they will look for the one that is far that will benefit them.
Now, is it not time the Nigeria populace, the masses, the voters will begin to look, look for a technocrat instead of a partisan, a party member, so a politician, somebody who has been in the politics and he has all criteria, as a politician. Is it not the hard time? Is it not hard time for us to begin to looking for a technocrat?
Yeah, the Nigerian masses, we've not come together to say we have a common enemy. Maybe a time will come.
Where would that time come?
The civil society worked against the military and government, said they should go to the barracks. We need a civilian era, democratic dispensation. They worked hard. Some were imprisoned, arrested, some even died. We had a common enemy then, the military. They said they should leave government and let democracy come. Now after that, I tell you today, the same civil society people that fought against the military, seeing the military as a common enemy, now we are against ourselves, the civil society. Some are in this party, they are supporting party A, some are supporting party B. On social media, we are abusing ourselves. We seem not to have a common enemy again, because you see some of them are now beginning to look for selfish interests, how they will make their millions from these politicians. And so until a time when the citizenry will now see that they have a common enemy and stand together, it is only then that even the voter will say, I won't take, even if you give me 50,000 naira, I'm standing on the line, I will vote for any candidate except that of my choice. But today, everybody, maybe we are under the concept of impoverish the people so that you can control them in times of voting. 5,000 naira, people are ready to sell their conscience for 4 years. So the people themselves should help themselves. Yes, because you allow your political mandate to be taken with just 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira. And we have some people in our communities all over the country who are the merchants of this selling of people's mandates. They will collect the millions from the politicians and then they line up. And then they will even monitor you where you thumbprint. And this is where INEC should also be very, very cautious. We are doing a secret, open secret ballot system. Where somebody is thumbprinting, only that person should be there. No eye should see where that person thumbprints.
But that's how they have been doing it.
No. Now even some of the security people that are the polling unit, they give sign. They give sign to the political agents. Now this is impressive. Then you go and collect your 5,000 naira. They are there, the agents are there. So even the voting system needs to be rearranged to give the electorate their freedom to vote their mind. So that if they like, they collect 1 million from politicians. When they go there, they vote their mind.
But that's the problem. Must you collect money?
They are inducing them. So when you force me to collect that money...
Did they force you to collect the money? They never forced... No politician will come and put gun on your head and say, you have to collect this money before you vote. If not, we will kill you.
Agreed. But that thing sometimes is discussed even on community level. Sometimes as the materials are landing, the community will sit down and arrange first. Who are those people that are coming with the money? How much have you brought for us? Sometimes they will say, okay, they will give this party this number of votes, give this party this number of votes. And we lie too much. Our population and voting strength and all of that are not accurate. Our census is not accurate. The voting strength is not accurate. We cheat in everything. So until we come back to respect ourselves, because that is also corruption, we are all corrupt, until we come back to ourselves and say we must insist on doing the right thing. Let the man who wants to vote go alone into the voting booth and thumbprint and come out. Nobody should see him do the thumbprinting. INEC should ensure that is done. It is only that that would protect the interest of the voter. Because he might go and then he say, yes, I vote for party B. Meanwhile, he vote for party A. That is his own discretion. So the electorate needs protection. No, even security people should not be close to him. As his thumbprinting, you shouldn't see. You see, so until we begin to have that common interest, to have an egalitarian society, we'll be playing to the hands of our selfish brothers and sisters in politics.
Viewers, what we are saying is the next election shouldn't be as usual, you know, where you say, okay, because this person is from my place, is from my town, is my village, is from my region. That's why I have to vote for him. The problem we are facing in Nigeria now is as a result of that. And we cannot allow to continue to allow this to happen. If we must have a peaceful Nigeria, that Nigeria with multicultural, you know, ethnicity, that Nigeria that has different ideology, bringing it to the table and making one entity and moving forward and becoming one of the most economically sought for country, you know, like Japan, like the US, like the Koreans, you know. if we continue in this ethnic sectionalism, we will not get to that stage and we will not get to that level. We believe that this morning, you've had something and you've taken something. You go and register for your PVC in the next election so that we can vote in a credible candidate.
Vote out and vote in.
Yeah, we can vote in a credible candidate. And if it means vote out, it's left for you. But that's where we'll draw the curtain this morning on this show. And we'll just keep a date with us. Tomorrow will be an interesting one. I remain Festus Ebikobuwe Mesarawo. God bless you. You're welcome.